I realized there was different types of markets when I started getting in, when I started ending the bar and mobile work and moving into the mobile work. That's when I started to learn that there's different markets, there's different levels.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast, where we go find some of the dopest DJs out there creating vibes everywhere they go. Today's guest is DJ Dre Ovalle. What's going on, my brother? How's everything going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just hanging in there, gearing up for 2023-24. Really excited.
Nice, man. Hey, man. You definitely did your thing this past year. I see you with the early bookings too, even from last year heading into this year. So I know it's going to be a big year for you, brother.
I hope so. I mean, they're coming in. They're coming, around December through March. That's when they come in for, like, as far as weddings. They're coming in. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy 2024. I'm certain.
Nice, man. That's what I like to hear, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been 20 years in the DJ industry, man. Let's take it back. Walk me through the journey. What were some of the early influences? What was some of the music coming through, playing in your house, man? Talk to me.
All right. So I've been DJing for 20 years. I started when I was 17. Usually like Latin music, hip hop. I grew up in Trenton. That's usually the standard music. But then around 15, I was introduced to the internet, and from the internet, I learned about electronic music, and that's what really caught my attention as far as um just DJing or music in general. Around that same time, I started to learn how to play guitar. I started to learn how to DJ. Some of my earliest influences were psytrance music, Goa trance, that type of stuff.
Okay.
DJs like John Digweed and Sasha. Who else? Just that early 2000s progressive house type of vibe. That's what brought me to music. And from there, I DJed that at house parties, even though they didn't want to hear trance music. They wanted to hear what was big in like 2005, like the Lil Jon or Party Like a Rock Star. That's what they wanted to hear, which is understandable. We're all 17, 18. No one wants to listen to deep progressive house, but that's what I like. And they're cool with me DJing, these type of house parties, just playing there. But from there, I wanted to find like an actual avenue where they actually appreciated this type of music. So I started partying at raves and going to underground parties, and that's where I got my wheels, if you will. That's when I started to DJ out in public. That's when I started to mingle with DJs that are way better than me, DJs that are way older than me. I was 17, 18, something like that. So going out to a lot of raves, almost on a 3 times a week, maybe just going out. I had nothing else to do. I had money from a part-time job and working and going out partying with my girlfriend at the time. So yeah, we just partied a lot, and I used to go to these parties, like 3 of them a week, just seeing other DJs mixing it up, showing me how to be a better DJ, if you will. And from raves, then at some point, I this was around, let's say, 21. I was like, all right, I'm kind of bored of just playing electronic music. I could do a little bit more. Then I started getting into clubs, bars, that type of stuff. I was already of age to do it, and that's when I started to DJ at clubs, bars, casinos, that type of stuff. And from there, I did that a lot. Like, I did that a lot for a few years, and then I'm like, what's the next thing? Like, what's the next thing I can get into? And from there, that's when I discovered the mobile mobile DJing. So I did private parties, less just private parties whenever they needed a DJ. I was the go-to. Can you DJ this? I don't know, a birthday party, just small parties, small private parties. And from there, I did that for a few years, and then I'm like, what's next? What do I do next? And that's when I discovered corporate gigs and weddings, and that's pretty been my goal. That's been my go-to for the past 4 to 5 years, just because it's a little bit more complicated than the previous type of work, but it's the reward is worth it. Even though it's something that causes a lot of headaches, So you're dealing with very demanding clients, be it brides or corporate. I'm sure when you
Oh,
work for corporate,
absolutely, brother.
they want to go back and forth with a flyer design. They want to see what music you're possibly going to play. They just
Yep.
want to know everything on there. You know how it is for corporate. But again, I'm 35 now. That's kind of what I enjoy doing more, corporate wedding stuff versus going back to doing nightclubs or raves, if you will. Even though I do have a few friends every now and then that hit me up like, hey, I got this, like I got this underground party. You want to come play it? I'm like, as long as I'm free, count me in, because I'd love to play some, it's like some progressive house or some nasty psytrance or something, just because I really do love playing that music. It's just not my market anymore, if you will.
Oh.
So yeah, that's pretty much been my journey as far as DJing, if you will, from raver to clubs and bars to corporate to private parties and mobile wedding events to corporate and weddings. Pretty much that's been my journey, if you will.
Nice, man. Now you spoke a little bit about market, man. When did you realize, for DJs, there's different markets out there? Did you feel pressure to choose a market when you first started off, or did that come on later? Talk to me about that.
That came out much later. Like when I first started DJing, it was strictly out of love for music, but it was so much of a love that I used when I was 19, 20, 21. I used to hate with a passion open format DJs that just play. Yeah, I used to hate it. Like I was such
Okay.
so I was such a music snob that I hated the idea of going out and playing music that people know. So market, I didn't even think of that when I first started.
Okay.
I realized there was different types of markets when I started getting in, when I started ending the bar and mobile work and moving into the mobile work. That's when I started to learn that there's different markets, there's different levels, there's different how you call it, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, but just different markets. Yeah, that's when I realized you can market yourself as this or you can market yourself as that. There's opportunities over here, opportunities over there, and depending on where you want to take your career, if you will, that's the kind of the path you have to take. And you don't necessarily have to follow that path, like strictly that path. Otherwise he's just like some other whatever corny DJ out there, like every other I don't know guy. I don't know if I could curse on this, but every
do your thing, brother.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, you don't necessarily have to find a path or a business plan or something that would work. You just have to find your own path and find your own market, and things work out pretty much. But yeah, I started to learn about markets around when I jumped into the mobile sector of DJing. Yeah.
No, nice, man. And I don't want to box you in, man. But speaking of, you spoke about weddings earlier, and man, you're the go-to. Like if someone wants to really get down and dive into wedding, I feel like you are the perfect person to study. I mean, your website is amazing. The videos, the content that you post. My big question to you: how do you handle wedding inquiries as they come in?
So I'll walk you through my what I did the previous, let's say, 4 years. So
okay. Talk to me, man.
I didn't necessarily want to put pricing on my website. I wanted to focus myself more as a boutique service, if you will. So people reach out to me, I can talk to them, I can see what they're about, what they're looking for, what they don't want, what they do want. But that started to become kind of I don't know, time consuming. So what I started doing, I put a like this form where they fill out on my website, where they put in what type of event is it, how many people, what's what type of event, what are they looking for, just so I already have an idea of what they want before we even hop on a call, just to make sure, one, am I available for the day, two, am I even the right fit for their type of event. So this form that I put on my website has kind of helped me save time, as far as like yeah, it just helped me save time, it helped me find the right clients that are good for me, or whether I'm a good fit for them, they're a good fit for me. Because nothing's worse than working, for somebody that you guys just don't mesh. Even though as much as you try, we are a client-based service, but sometimes there's some people that you just don't work with well. So
Yes.
for me, that putting that form on my website where I know what they're looking for gives me a better idea of what they're after, what they want, and whether them or I are a good fit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. You have the form automation tool, makes your life easier. I mean, the management. I mean, hey, DJs, take notes, take notes. Man, I gotta ask you, man. Again, you've been killing in the wedding industry. I need to know, what are some of the common mistakes that you see wedding DJs, or even maybe yourself, when you first started off? What are some of the common mistakes that DJs make while DJing a wedding?
For DJing a wedding, just I think just sticking too safe to a playlist, if you will. Like, I guess like I said, I come from an experimental background, so sometimes I want to throw something that doesn't, like, on the dance floor. I want to play something that I think would resonate with the crowd, but not everyone knows. Maybe a few here and there, but those few and there on the dance floor, they know what I'm referencing, and they react to it, and that big reaction I know is coming up. So I recorded on my phone, because you see when I record on content or whatever. So I record that specific moment. I know what I kind of know I'm gonna get a reaction to it.
Okay.
So I record it just so I have that reaction caught on video, and then I could share it on social media. And that, for instance, just for instance, so I have this video on my TikTok of me playing guitar to I don't know if you're familiar with anime.
Yeah.
But to the intro to Attack on Titan, from the
Okay.
new season.
Okay.
So I recorded that. I just want to share it, because I made the tabs for it. I put them online. People could play the song on guitar, but then people started commenting on it, and I guess other nerds, if you will, other anime nerds, they saw that video and it resonated with them. Like, oh, this guy does weddings and he knows anime, or he knows Attack on Titan. So they felt closer to me just because I kind of know, I don't know, because I know Attack on Titan, if you will. So that little connection between them and I was the reason that they booked me, pretty much. Just so I like to add other things other than music to my social media, other than TikTok or Instagram. I like to add. This could be anything, whatever topic you like, whether you like reading, whether you like movies, whether you like anime. Just don't necessarily make it all music, or all. Don't make your social media all music. Make it something about something you're reading, something you like watching, family, whatever, and that would resonate with people. So that's something, I guess that's a mistake that I see people, other DJs posting on social media, just posting all about only music. Like, just post other things that non-DJ people, or people that aren't DJs, can resonate with you, if you were, in this case, it being anime. So yeah, that's one of the top things I highly one of the mistakes I see other DJs make. Just make their page all about music, and it's understandable. We are DJs; that is what we do, music. But those little extra videos about topics that you like other than music, yeah, like I said, it just, people resonate with it just because it's something they can relate to. That's not DJing, because DJing is complicated in a sense. So yeah, it's easier to follow an anime intro versus what a DJ is doing behind the decks, because people would understand that more than watching all this technical ability on the decks. And that is impressive. There is a market for that. There's a market for everything. But yeah, just try to make yourself more accessible and more interesting, if you will. Yeah.
And relatable. I like, I
relatable.
like that, man. Yeah.
You're relatable.
That's a very dope tip, because I think sometimes, us as DJs, we get caught up in, like, hey, I gotta post this transition, or I gotta show you this cool trick that I did, and I mean, unfortunately, most people don't really care unless they're like, they're really DJs or they're into the scene or they're, they care about the technical aspect. Most people don't really care, though, to be honest.
Until they're looking for
Yeah.
a DJ for their wedding. Then they see your videos. They're like, oh, this guy's pretty damn good. I like what he does. Then they hire you. But as far as just feeding them content they can relate to, yeah, they're not going to relate to every cool scratch, whatever technique you're doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm a beginner DJ, man. I got hired to do a wedding. The wedding's Saturday. It's Wednesday. I have a hard drive full of hits, tunes. I'm confused, man. I'm calling DJ Dre Ovalle. I need to hit you up, man. How do I get this wedding started, man? Like, give me some beginner tips. First time DJing his first wedding. Walk me through. Like, how do I keep the party going?
So the first good thing that you already have is the hits. You already have the hits ready. So you already have that ready. The hardest part when doing your wedding for the first time, and I'm sure you can relate or any DJ, is being the MC, getting on the microphone and knowing what to say. That's the first thing that most DJs don't get right. They're nervous about. They're Googling how to do this, whatever. So what I would recommend for a first time DJ is take the hit financially and hire one of your more experienced MC friends and hire them to do the MCing. That way, you know how to direct a wedding. You know how it flows. If anything, they can give you ideas on what to play too, just because they do this all the time. But as far as like, since you already got the crates, you already have the music, just hop online and look up, top 200 songs at a wedding, and then you kind of have an idea of what songs people are going to react to at a wedding. So that's the main thing. But that's one of the things. But one of the main things I highly recommend is just finding someone that's an MC that can help you, help you move a wedding around, because that's the toughest part, I think, out of weddings, to delegate time management, to know what to say, to ask the right questions. So with an MC more experienced than you, I think they can help you focus on what's important, but also direct you on what you need to know, where you need to go. And that way, for the next wedding, you already have the hits, you already have the music. You just kind of mimic what that MC did, and that's when you have an idea of what to do for your next wedding. So that's the advice I will give to a beginner. Just find someone that is a little bit more experienced than you, be it being a DJ or MC or both, and then letting them help you taking the price cut and giving them half of whatever you're earning. So you learn. That's the most important thing, just to learn how to properly MC or DJ a wedding. Mm-hmm.
Man, great tips, man. I wish I did that in my first wedding. Hiring MC. You're so right, man. Because I remember my first wedding, like literally 11 years ago, and I'm sitting here on my phone, like, yo, what should I say? I had it written down. But I'm like, it doesn't sound right. Like, should I say it like this? So yeah, no, that's so true. Definitely hire MC, and you could follow that direction and see really how a wedding's properly hosted and properly ran. So no, great tips.
And the next tip too, I would say for the second wedding you do, is when you get down the format, or you write down what the things you copy from that MC. This is a really good tip I tell every MC, and it helps them project their voice. So this is what I tell them: like, once you get your script down, go in front of a mirror and repeat what you say, but record it too, so that way you can hear when your voice goes down when you say certain words, or when you keep it straight, and then it's what's the word? It's directly into the microphone. So what I do is what I used to do is go in front of a microphone, a mirror, say what you want, but when you say whatever you want to say, push your hand out like that and pretend it's your words like that. And that's how you can make your words, or more, whatever you're saying, more
project out.
You project it out more. You keep the energy in your words, or in your whatever you're saying, versus your voice going, hey, hello, my name is, you want to say, hi, my name's whatever. So yeah, push your hand out like that. It's a tip I've shown to other beginner DJs when they want to get better at MCing, and the next thing you know, they're like, yo, that shit worked. Like, what the hell? I don't know the science behind it, but it worked. But I can't necessarily explain why it worked. But I learned that from I used to take lessons for opera when I
Okay.
was younger. Yeah, I can't sing worth of shit, but
No.
I took opera lessons for like 3 or 4 months. One of the biggest lessons I learned was how to project my voice from that. And that's one of the first lessons I learned from that opera teacher. But yeah, that's just something to add, like something to for a beginner DJ MC to do a trick, or if you will. Yeah.
If you're enjoying the content you're watching right now, and you want to learn how to level up at all your events and create vibes, well, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. Man, you took opera. That's very unique, man. That's dope. That's different, man. I like that.
I can't sing though. I remember being in that lady's living room just singing like Pavarotti or some other, classical Italian opera singer, and I'm like, whoa, and she's like, you gotta do it like this, and I'm like, do it again. I'm like, no, do it again, and I never got it down. It just wasn't for me. I picked up DJing guitar a lot quicker than I did opera. Opera's tough, but yeah.
Imagine, man.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so you spoke about sound too, and I check your posts. I see what you're actively posting. I want to say maybe a month or 2 months ago, you posted about telling DJs make sure when you have an event, get the floor panel so you can see what the floor looks like, so you can set your speakers up and have your sound not reacting off of certain things, or your sound actually in a good zone where the frequencies, where you won't have any issues with your microphone talking or anything like that. Where did you learn that? Where did you learn about sound placement, speaker placement?
So something else I did for a lot of years. I also did corporate audio visual. So I learned how to I used to be the guy that used to come into like hotels, fancy hotels, big auditoriums, and they used to show us a floor plan. They used to say, we want X amount of subs here, X amount of speakers here, and we want them daisy chained, or we want we want an Ethernet from X room to this other room at this conference. So doing that for a lot of years, I learned speaker placement, speaker how much it shoots out. I can't think of the words right now for some reason. So I learned about speaker placement from doing AV gigs. I learned a lot from doing AV, and AV work I got into when I quit my my day job to do this full time. Like at the time, I only had like a few gigs on the weekends just to do bars and clubs, and I did like Uber on the side, and also AV gigs on like maybe 2 or 3 a week. But from there, I started doing AV work Monday through Friday, and sometimes the whole weekend. And just doing that type of work has shown me a lot about audio, speaker placement, and also showed me how little DJs and musicians know about sound. That too, like I thought I knew sound when I first started out. I'm like, oh yeah, I got experience. I'm getting into this. I did have experience. I did know some things, as any DJ does as far as sound. But when you actually start getting into the science behind it, you realize DJs and musicians don't know jack shit about sound. Unfortunately, yeah.
I'm one of them, and I went to grad school for like sound recording too, and I still.
Well, see, that's different.
I didn't finish, but I entered grad school for it. But yeah, I know a little bit, but yeah, I don't know the science.
But that's different. Recording is completely different than at a live setting. So I'm sure you did learn something from that. So, but when it's in a live setting, it's a little bit different, and it's also a lot of trial and error too. Like, it's trial and error really. But yeah, most of that I learned from working as a freelancer for audio visual companies in pretty much the tri-state area.
Okay, no, very dope, man. So we're in an era where the song requests are coming in hostile, man. I mean, they're coming in with the phones. I mean, they're just all up in your face. I need to know, how do you handle a song request, man?
So all right. So request, I used to see that a lot more when I used to do bars and clubs. At weddings, not so much. And it could be just because the times have changed, or I think I just got better at reading the room, if you will. Like I don't know. I rarely get the phone in front of your face and like play this right now. I kind of already assume that's what they're gonna ask for three
Okay.
songs before they even come up to me. So I already took care of their request without them asking, if you will. So yeah, like they say, you keep one ear in your booth and one ear out on the dance floor, or in this case, your eyes. So I try to pay attention on, like every DJ does, just reading the room. I try to pay attention to who's in the room, and seeing what I think they would react to, and then that way I don't get that many requests. So I'm fortunate enough, I guess, where I don't have the phone in front of your face most of my gigs. But if I do, if that is the case, if I'm bombing a set and I'm not playing what the crowd wants and I'm getting that phone every second, I just tell them, we'll play it I'll play it eventually. That's it. You'll get to hear it eventually. If they say, we're leaving now, I'm like, okay, leave. Fine, that's fine. That's fine with me. But again, this is for a bar and club. This is not for a wedding. This is for a bar and club. Yeah.
Right.
So if they say, hey, I tell them, yeah, I'll play it eventually, and say I'm leaving right now. Like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not playing it right now. Like, I'll play it for you, but we're not playing that right now. I'm not playing Mr. Brightside at a bar at peak hour. Like, we're not doing it.
Right.
It is a hype track. It is a song where everyone reacts to, everyone's drunk. That you want to save that for last, or the last 15 minutes at a bar or club, when everyone's dipping or whatever. That's when you save that track for. So I tell them, yeah, I'll play your song. Just give me a minute to mix it in. And if they get very I don't know, antsy, or they get impatient, that's on them. They're gonna hear the song eventually, but they gotta wait, pretty much. I'll play the song where I think best fits. I'm not catering to one person to ruin the entire dance floor, right? You want to focus on the dance floor and take care of that one person eventually when the time is right, if you will. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some accessories that every DJ needs?
All right. So what are some accessories that every DJ needs? That's a good question. All right. So this isn't something I think every DJ needs in the mobile work, but it does help immensely, and that is an external mixer. Not so much just hooking into like your speakers into your controller and calling it a day. I'm talking, and not necessarily like a small little 4-channel audio mixer. I'm talking like an actual, again, this is if someone can afford it, an actual $600 to like $1,000 like an iPad mixer, if you will. And the reason I say this is because once you plug in your controller into an actual soundboard, like something that's meant for to amplify sound, not amplify sound, like an actual mixer. Yeah, aside from not a DJ mixer, when you actually plug into something like that, you actually realize how much more power your speakers have, how much more oomph your speakers have, if you will. Wow. So when you have this external mixer, you can work with your levels more, be it your vocals, be it your highs, your mids, your lows. You can change frequencies in it, but also more importantly too, because you can carry an iPad around, and in that iPad it shows your levels for your audio and all that, and also your notes, any notes you have for the event. So this is not something every DJ needs, but it's something that would make your sound, would amplify your sound, make it sound 10 times better, make your sound system 10 times better, but also make your workflow easier at the event. That way, if you're like 100 feet away from the DJ booth, you don't need to run back to like bring down microphones or nothing. You can literally just talk right there, put the music back up, or you need to say something else. They tell you, hey, can you announce this and that? Unmute, just say it, mute it, and then music is still playing in the background because you have everything in control from your phone or your iPad, or whatever, your mobile device. So yeah, that's something I don't think every DJ needs, but it helps mobile DJs if they're in that business. It makes their life easier. As far as like what I guess what I don't know. I don't know what every DJ needs and what was the question again? What every
All right, so what accessory every DJ should have, or what accessory?
Okay. All right, so here's a simple one: cable straps. I come from the audiovisual world. I hate when I see other DJs just pull out a Tupperware full of cables that are all like tangled up.
Okay.
That would ruin your cables very quick, especially if you're keeping them in cold storage or an environment that's not friendly to cables. Yeah, buy some straps, man. Like, keep your cables organized.
Okay.
That comes from my audio visual background. It's a pet peeve of mine, but it'll make your life so much more organized. Yeah, just some cable straps. Yeah, that's a good answer. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, some cable straps.
I think that's a perfect answer.
That organizes.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I feel like a lot of DJs don't have the cable. I know when I first started off, I was just like, I was like one of those guys that like threw the cables in the bag, and terrible. I was embarrassed too, pulling them out. Like, I would try to like pull them out underneath the table with the cloth over so no one sees me doing it. Like, that's how it's. Yeah, don't do it.
That's fine. It's just you want to take care of your cable. Those cables are expensive. Right. You want to take care of them. Like, those are like what, 25 a pop, give or take.
Right.
And you're carrying at least, I don't know, most DJs carry at least minimum 4 to 6 XLR cables on the minimum, and that's like 25 to 45 a piece. So yeah, just roll them up nicely and take care of them. That's all. Yeah.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you go about choosing the right speakers?
Years of experimentation and seeing what everyone used. So when I started out, when I bought my first speaker, I bought a Gemini, and Gemini used to get a lot of hate for being the low quality speaker back in like the early 2000s and late 2010s or whatever. But that speaker lasted me for 15 years. As much hate as it got, as much hate as that brand got. But yeah, so I went from Gemini, and then I got into JBL. I started using those for a little bit. Then I started doing AV work, and I got into QSC. Okay. And I started to see all these audiovisual guys use QSCs just because you could throw those things down a stairway and stairwell, and they're still okay. So yeah, that's kind of the go-to for a lot of audiovisual companies, because it's still mid-tier sound. It's still mid-tier, but it could take a beating, but it's also not top tier. And from there, that's from QSC. I learned of RCF, and I've been an RCF user for the past 2 years. And I don't plan on making everything I have RCF just because it's really expensive. But as far as my wedding setup, I'm sticking to RCF just because it's amazing what those things can achieve, especially with external mixer to really make them pop, if you will. But yeah, that is just trial and error. I just moved from speaker brand to speaker brand, and I eventually found myself on using QSCs to rent out and using RCFs for my personal use.
Okay. So I see you crushing it on IG, TikTok. I mean, the reels are getting traction. We just started following each other too recently on TikTok. But yeah, man, now you are doing your thing, man. I need your top 3 tips to boost my brand or any DJ's brand on social media. What are your top 3 tips, man?
So my top tip right now is focus on TikTok, just because TikTok is a discovery app, not like Instagram was a discovery app, but it's so much harder to find new content on IG. You kind of see in the same old of what you already follow, and when you do, when it does send you new content, it doesn't send you stuff that's relatable to you. It just sends you whatever is trending, if you will. It could be, I don't know, it could be some dude cooking a sandwich in India, which is
right.
which is which is I do enjoy watching it. It's just it has no value to me. It's just there to kill my time, and that's what I think Instagram's doing right now, just trying to grab your attention from TikTok and making you trying to spend time on their app with whatever worthless, I won't say worthless, but whatever, some Indian dude cooking sandwich, whatever, yeah. But TikTok's different just because like it kind of reads what you like and also what you're searching on the app, because this is something I personally, I'm a big foodie. My girlfriend and I we're big foodies. We like to go out and eat, and I guess once a week maybe we hop on TikTok just for like, we put new places to search, and then we call it inspiration time. So through TikTok, when we search that, and then whatever city we're going to, we look up to new places to try, or new places new places to try, new places to check out. And that's the same exact thing people are doing on TikTok. Like, let's say weddings, let's say a bride, she's searching bridal ideas, wedding ideas, wedding inspiration. And if you focus on that, that's what your videos are going to pop up on whenever they're searching for. So again, the biggest advice I have is focusing on TikTok, just because it is primarily a discovery app. The only problem with that app is that once you throw that out into the world, it's probably going to get traction for maybe a month or two, and then after that, it's like it never existed. It's like you're never going to get likes on it ever again. That's the bad thing, versus like on IG or on Facebook, IG or Facebook, where if you posted something, let's say today, you're still going to get a like from it maybe come May or June or something, versus on TikTok that's not the case. It's good for discovery, but it's not good for retainment as far as like keeping
audience.
An audience, pretty much. Yeah, that's what IG and Facebook is for retainment. But as far as getting new people through the door, I think TikTok, that's the main focus, and that's why I've been trying to focus as much time, energy, resources into that app, just because it's a discovery app, and most people that are hiring you, they're hiring you for this one special event. Again, this is for weddings, but they're hiring you for this one special event, and hopefully they're not going to get married again. Sometime maybe they do, but you never know.
You've been DJing 20 years in the DJ industry, man. I mean, you've seen it all. You were there, vinyl. You were there for the transition of CDs, MP3s. I mean, talk to me, man. What do you like most about the DJ industry now, and what do you dislike about the DJ industry?
Something I do like is the ability of just carrying a laptop and a hard drive around, and that's all your music right there. That's probably, and also controllers. Cause I do not miss carrying around turntables or CD players or just all this extra stuff. I do not miss those days at all. But again, I only started out DJing publicly when CDs were already out. So I carried a CD wallet. So as far as like carrying vinyl, I only did that to a few underground events that were all vinyl, like an all vinyl night. That I wasn't that like I joined into the DJ game at the tail end of that. But as far as like carrying CDs or organizing CDs, burning songs into CDs, like putting 20 of them, sometimes even less, just to stay organized more. I do not miss that at all. So yeah, what I do like about it is less stuff you got to carry around. It makes your life much easier. What I don't like about it, oh man, what don't I can't think of anything I do not like about it. I think everything has been a positive upgrade, if you will. Like, I'm sure in the next 10 years we won't even, I mean, even right now, you don't, for a mobile DJing, you're not even going to need your laptop. You just, like, right now, you just at clubs, you just hook in your USB and that works. I don't necessarily do that for weddings, but I do kind of see us the mobile work transitioning to that style, where we're not going to carry our laptops around. We're going to be like the club DJ, where we just carry our USB and put it into whatever device we're we're using. But yeah, I don't have a negative thing that I hate about DJing nowadays over the years as they progress. So only just positive, just lighter equipment, more music, easier to make edits, easier to make remixes, easier to find remixes. Record pools are everywhere.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people that think it's a saturated market, which it is, but I don't care. Like I just want I want like you should just focus on yourself and trying to be better than what you were before. Don't worry about how many DJs are out there or what they're charging or any of that. I don't. I pay attention just so I know where the heartbeat of the market is at. But I don't care. I just want to focus on me and what my peers are doing, and hopefully we're all being better DJs, better entertainers than we were the day before. That's what I care about. Oh yeah, not in negative, just all positive on my end. I like all the new technology, all the new music, all the new equipment, how much easier it's made mobile DJing or just DJing in general. I love all the technology and how much easier it's become. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I love the technology. It's so much. Like I remember carrying my coffin at my wheels falling off at Gramercy Theater, man. That was the day I was like, no more. I'm done, man. I'm never carrying. And I was like 140 pounds, man. I couldn't even get up the escalator. Like it was so embarrassing, man. Like no more. I'm never DJing. Like only in the crib, man. That's it. Like I will never pull out my turntables. It's just too heavy, man. And I'm older now. Like it's just like I love it. I love DJing on turntables, but man, I carrying a coffin. That's
same. Like every video I record or every video I post for social media or every mix I record at home, it's all on my Technics and my my S11. But as far as bringing that stuff out, nah, I'm not doing all that.
Absolutely. So talk to me, man. What are some songs that have fallen out of your rotation? Songs that you're not playing anymore, maybe songs that you particularly loved and used to play a lot, but just fell out the rotation. Doesn't make the cut anymore.
Oh man, what are songs like that? Let me think. Oh man, what is a song that I used to play a lot? Oh, I mean, I can't really think of one right now. That's nothing is popping up. I'm sure there's some out there. That just I have to look at my Serato and see. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to play that, but yeah, I can't necessarily remember a song that I used to play a lot and now I don't even. Yeah, I can't think of one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a lover of the underground music, man. What intrigues you about underground music, underground artists, the whole underground scene? What do you love about it?
What got me into it is just at the time when I got into it, I was in high school when I found it, and no one was necessarily into that type of music. You know, that bubble didn't blow up until like the EDM bubble, if you will. That didn't blow up until like 2009, 2010, 2011. It didn't blow up until then, but before that, like 2003 to 2009, if you will. What brought me into it is just like the community, like any small niche community, be it hip hop, be it metal, be it whatever. It's just the community behind the underground music. Because I remember like going up to record stores in Philly, like 611 or Satellite up in New York City, just to go in there and see what new releases they had as far as like underground music. And just me, like a 16-year-old kid talking to the shop owner like about this tune, and he's like, "What does this kid know? Like, he doesn't know anything. Like, this is for like actual DJs." And like, I wasn't an actual DJ, if you will, but yeah, just walking into these record stores and talking to the shop owners, to the other DJs they used to shop for records because they had gigs at whatever club they're playing. They're all 21 and over. But yeah, just learning from these more experienced DJs that are that are no longer around. They gave it up. They put their headphones away years ago. But I learned a lot from these guys as far as like underground stuff. I also like how there's different genres of underground, and each of them have their own parties, their own type of subgenres, their own type of category. So let's say you have a drum and bass night at one club here, and then you have a side trance night at the other club down the road. Like it's still all electronic music, but it's all under different like an umbrella.
Yep.
And it's all different types of people going to these type of parties. They might know each other, but they're going to their preferred style in music. So yeah, that's something I really liked about that community, where it's still, you know, it's still a small community, but it's still kind of there's parties for everyone, be it Philly or New York, whatever. So that's something that really you know, grabbed my attention to electronic music. It just the amount of music out there, the amount of parties out there, the amount of diversity, the amount of, also, you know, like when you walk to those parties, it didn't matter what you look like or
Right.
what was your background either. That didn't matter. It didn't even matter if you were, if the guy next to you like came from a lot of money, and the guy next to you over here on the left was just a complete, I don't know, into drugs or something. Like it was a big mesh of like random people. That's what I really liked about it. It's just a mesh of a mesh of a bunch of misfits, if you will. That's what I love about it. I was a misfit myself, so like it just brought all these weird people together into this one one umbrella category, be it electronic music. And the beauty of that, I guess that circle, that world, is that all these people that I grew up with in that scene, they're all either getting married or they are all working these corporate gigs or whatever. So now, like, they know that I'm the go-to for these more sophisticated events. I don't know what to call it. So yeah, I'm usually the go-to. So that, like, let's say that, like, my friend's getting some friend I used to, you know, do Molly with back when I was like 19. he's hitting me up and he goes like, "Hey man, I'm getting married." I'm like, "Well, congratulations. You know, let's talk or whatever." So all these friends that I used to party with, they're all getting married, or they've gotten married in the previous years. So it introduced me, it made me more of this world, this electronic world, made me more of an open person, more of a honest person, and it also made me more of a people's person. And I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about friendship, a lot about everything. That whole world of electronic music introduced me to a lot of things, or opened my eyes to how the world is or isn't, if you will. So yeah, that's I think getting into that world was one of the biggest blessings for me, just because it showed me a lot, introduced me to a lot of people, that are doing big things now. So yeah, it just introduced me to the whole world, if you will. Yeah.
Nah, very dope, man.
Mhm.
I share that kind of like a same experience. I have a friend, we both interned at a record label in college, and his name is Chavez. He's a DJ. He's a underground house DJ, but he put me onto the house electronic scene, residentadvisor.net,
Okay. Yeah.
the black card, going into uh, parties at Wall Street, and you can't get the phone out and see the animation on the screens. And this is like probably for me like maybe 2008, 9, and going all the way up to 2012. But that scene is it's dope. I mean, it's pure. I mean, even if you never heard of the music, like, people are really there to have a good time, dance.
Yeah.
There's no judgment. It's like literally like no judgment zone. I mean, I do miss the underground house scene in New York, but I just feel like that's a very dope scene. And no, if people haven't experienced it, you gotta experience it. Like, it even opened me up to so much, like tech house, minimal techno, like stuff I wasn't really, I didn't really know too much about, but amazing music, amazing. Nah, that's dope, man. That's what really, kind of like, when I was like checking your page, I'm like, man, you're into like so much, cool stuff. And I feel like a lot of, I don't know, I used to run across a lot of DJs where they're like, oh, I only can play this, or I only listen to this. And I feel like that's like Why? There's so much great music all across genres. Like, why limit yourself? Like,
I
why?
completely agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
Makes no sense.
And I guess that's one of the negative things I wanted to bring up in that circle. I guess just a lot of DJs in that circle limit themselves as far as like what they can play. Like a tech house DJ does not want to play dubstep, or a dubstep
Right.
DJ is like cringes at the idea of playing house music. That might be one of the negatives of that scene, and that's part of the reason why I, like what you just said, like there's so much music out there, why I started ditching that scene
Okay.
and got more into bars and clubs and more
Okay.
weddings, just because like I got bored of playing that stuff. I wanted to play different stuff, challenge yourself. But yeah, it is a very cool world. Absolutely, yeah.
Ah, very dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
So DJ Dre Ovalle, are you ready to play a game called This or That?
I guess, yeah, sure.
All right, man. So I'm gonna ask you two things. It's either this or it's either that. All right. Let's get it. We got New Sleep Token versus the Gorillas. Who are we choosing?
New Sleep Token.
Okay. All right. Did a little research on you. All right.
I can tell you. It's a very niche band and not many people know about. But yeah, go on. Okay.
Okay. Death metal or hardcore metal?
Death metal.
Okay. I actually saw a very dope death metal band at the CMJ festival at NYU, and they did Michael Jackson covers. And oh my god, amazing! Like amazing. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this. I was like, yo, these guys are incredible. Like I was shaking their hand, like, yo, you guys are amazing. They probably thought I'm crazy. Like we do this all the time. I thought all right, DJing a wedding versus DJing a festival. Which one would you rather DJ? And I'm talking about like a big high level festival, like Coachella.
I would say I'll take a festival just because I haven't done that in a while. Okay. Yeah, probably a festival. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, festival. Mm-hmm.
I want to see if you're, true wedding to the core. Okay, I like that, man.
Yeah.
All right. CDJs or turntables?
Turntables.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. DJ Expo or the Mobile Entertainment Expo? Mobile Beat, aka Mobile Beat.
I haven't been to Mobile.
No,
Mobile, the second one. I haven't been to it. I have to.
Which one would you rather, though? I know you've been to the Expo, but which one?
I think Expo, just because like I kind of know everyone. I've spoken at seminars like 6 times already. So yeah, probably the Expo. Plus it's close. It's very close. So yeah, it's probably the Expo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how was your experience? You say you spoke at the Expo, you spoke at a seminar, you shared some DJ knowledge, education. How's that experience, and what do you like most about speaking at seminars and just sharing the knowledge that you know about DJing?
So one of the coolest things I found out through time is one of the first seminars I spoke at was like 2014, I think. I don't remember what was the topic, but there's like 3 DJs that went to that seminar, and from what they learned they told me, or the people that participated in that seminar, they told us that after what they learned in that seminar, over the years, over time, they managed to quit their jobs and DJ full time. I don't remember what the hell the topic is about or what we spoke about, but whatever we said resonated with them, and they loved it. They ate it up, and it became useful to them. And aside from like that becoming their career, these folks also have become my friends over time. Like now I see them post on Facebook. I see them post about their kids or we're friends pretty much. So I gained a lot of friends from talking at those seminars, and I've spoken at so many of those throughout the years. I don't remember a lot of the topics. I might remember one, like social media. I think that's back when like Instagram was the top dog. Like so this was like 2015 or 14, I think, something like that. So yeah, just showing other DJs, educating other DJs, inspiring them, and just meeting a whole bunch of other DJs that I would have never met in my life if it wasn't for that expo. So yeah, that's one of the positive things that has come out of those expos, going to those expos.
Very dope, very dope. DJ Dre Ovalle, ladies and gentlemen, That was this or that. Wasn't that bad, right?
No, I liked it.
Nice, nice. So what's next for DJ Dre Ovalle, man? What do you got going on, man?
So for this year, again, I'm focusing on weddings. That's a given. But one of the most important things is a new business I'm starting where um I've been renting out sound and speakers and DJ equipment for years and years and years, but I never actually did it under an actual business name. It was kind of just a business name. It was a kind of just all these DJ friends I know, like, hey, can I rent 20 uplights? Can I rent moving hits? Can I rent totems? Can I rent subs? Whatever. Luckily I know a lot of DJs, so it did. I was renting out stuff every week for the past, I don't know, few 3-4 years. So luckily my network is big enough where these DJs do need stuff from me. But with this year I'm doing with a friend is we're starting an actual rental business for these AV companies I used to work for.
Okay.
And also other DJs. But this is focusing on people we don't know versus like before it was just my friends and whatever DJ friends hiring, renting stuff from me. Now we want to market it for like Monday through Friday for all these AV companies, because all these years I learned how these AV companies work. I learned how they rent out sound, what sound they need or what sound they go for. So I want to focus on that on Monday through Friday, where they pick it up from me and they use it for whatever seminar, whatever they need. And for the weekend, we have these things called do-it-yourself kits, where we're making a YouTube video in both English and Spanish, because we want to market this to the Spanish market too, like people that don't speak English, or people that let's say are less fortunate where they can't afford a professional DJ for their event, and also people that don't necessarily have credit cards, or let's say undocumented people that don't have the privilege of owning credit cards, all this stuff that it's pretty much any basic citizen, if you will, has. So we want to market the system to these type of folks, where if they want sound at their backyard, whatever shindig, they can hire us for their sound needs, just because we speak their language. We come from immigrant backgrounds. So yeah, on the weekends we want to market these do-it-yourself kits to these people, just if they need sound for their party, whatever. And we want to market those to all the I call it like not party planning, but like where people go get like balloons and streamers, or people like little stuff, for their little party, whatever. We're just marketing a do-it-yourself kit and speakers to AV companies. That's kind of what we're doing, and we're launching that hopefully by the end of January. We're still, getting we already got the website down and we registered the business, but we just want to get a few more things down, and we'll hopefully launch that by January.
Man, that's very dope. And I just want to say, man, big congratulations launching a new business, man. Nothing but success, because I know you're going to kill it, man. I know that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Most definitely, man. So how can people get in contact with DJ Dre Ovalle? You got a wedding coming up. I need to book a high-level professional DJ. How can people get in contact with you?
You could search DJ Dre Ovalle literally on Google, TikTok, Instagram, pretty much any social media you use. If you still use Vine, you could probably still find me. I'm kidding now. But yeah, you can literally just find me at DJ Dre Ovalle at on every social media platform. I come up on Google. You'll find my website. You can reach out to me. Put in your information, reach out, and yeah, I'm available everywhere, and I respond pretty quickly.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast. We do this every Monday, 9 a.m. This week's special guest was no other than DJ Dre Ovalle. My brother, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for having me.